Hi guys, welcome back to Nico Talks Hockey. Another day, another new series started here on the channel on Nico Talks Hockey. We've already had two series start already for this 25-26 NHL season. One of them is the bi-weekly series that every other week I'll be coming out with like kind of a fantasy focused video talking about who's hot, who's not, right? The other video I just started, my most recent video, which was the new series, kind of going through panic meters, and that will be updating every month. This series I'm starting today is also another video that's going to be updated every month. It's going to be one at the last or around there, the last day of every month. So this is October edition of my top 5 favorite things that happened in the NHL this month for the month of October. So without further ado, I just want to get right into it. These are 5 things that I thought were the most interesting to me personally. Again, this is not that objective of a list. It's quite subjective. Just talking about moments or stories, narratives, players or teams that I thought were really cool to kind of highlight. So yeah, let's get right into it. So these are not ordered either. It's just 5 of my favorite things that happened in the month of October. So one of them is the Detroit Red Wings, and specifically Emmett Finney. The story of Emmett Finney is so cool. So he's stunning the league with his start to the NHL, to his NHL career, and he proves that he could be a piece of the puzzle here in Detroit, and maybe a top 6, especially piece of the puzzle there in the Yzer plan, right? So it's just such a cool story, and not so from his standpoint, right? He was a 7th round pick in 2023. This has been covered, I know, in lots of other articles and stories written about him. But I it's such a cool story. I had to highlight it here. Again, 7th round pick in 2023. Even if the odds of making it as a 7th round pick, making it as an NHL regular, are very, very low, right? But not only that, but then to become potentially, 2 years down the line, it's only 2 years later. It's not many years down the line, which is even if the people in the 7th or 6th round of the draft end up making it, it's probably 3 or 4 or maybe 5 years down the road. Nope, it's 2 years later, and he's playing on the top line with Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. It's really cool. In 11 games played, he's got 4 goals, 4 assists. So that's it's just really awesome to see. It's a really feel-good story, and for Detroit and Detroit fans, you couldn't be more elated, right? Right, because you didn't know who you're going to put in that top 6. You've already got Kane, DeBrincat, Casper, Larkin, Raymond, but there's one top 6 player missing, and it looks like Emmett Finney's going to be that guy. So very, very happy for him. Moving on to another thing that I really, really liked as a story for this October in the NHL. It's my Chicago Blackhawks. What a story they've been. I know that maybe some people who are a little bit more sour on the Hawks, maybe they're more pessimistic or critical of the team, maybe look at the start as just like a pure fluke, and they can't keep this up, and they'll be still a basement team when all's said and done for the NHL season. But I disagree. I think that they've proven that the Chicago Blackhawks have become a fun team to watch again. And I really want to highlight the progression of 3 players and then one large thing. So, for one, Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard has taken his game to the next level, which is a lot of people, including myself, predicted. Right? He's so much faster. His short speed bursts per 60 is some kind of advanced stat, but they're like in the top 1% of the NHL right now. His transition play is unbelievable. He's up there with like Braden Point and the likes of him right now. He's above a point per game. I believe he's got 14 points or 15 points I think he got 14 points in 11 games played. So that's awesome to see. We'll see if he can keep that up. A point per game is kind of around where I predicted him this year, 82 to maybe most 90 points. I think he's hitting at least 25 goals. I'm thinking more like 35 goals at this point. So seeing Connor Bedard take his game to the next level defensively, he's looking really, really good as well. He's back checking like crazy. He's just put in 110% effort. It's so cool to see. Along with Frank Nazar, who's everyone predicted that he would have a breakout season this year, and that's exactly what he's having. He's got so much fun to his game. It's so much fun to watch him. He's got this aura about him that it's like a magnet for audience's eyes to go to him. He's got so much swagger, And he's also someone who's above a point per game right now. I think he's got like 12 points in 11 games or something like that, maybe 13 points. So yeah, he's killing it. And yeah, so the top two forwards right now, it's such a fun team to watch in Chicago. They're even if they're not winning every game, they're above 500 right now. You know, they're in the wild card race. Now, of course, you know they're getting a lot of luck, as they call it. Advanced stats will call it. You know, they're getting a lot of. They're expecting that PDO regression will happen eventually. And sure, again, I still don't have them as a playoff team, but they're so much more fun to watch. I think that even the biggest Hawks haters can agree that even if they're not going to be a playoff team, I think that this is the beginning of the ascension out of the basement of their rebuild, and this team is just so much more fun to watch. They're so fast, and there's so much excitement and promise about this team. And I can't finish this little segment about the Hawks without talking about Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight has been unbelievable, one of the best goalies in the entire NHL, and he's so young, right? He's only I think 23 still, so yeah, super young still, and he looks to be the number one goalie going forward for the Hawks. Moving on to the next thing that I really thought was really cool in October is Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel's having himself a hell of a season. A fantastic start to a potentially Hart Trophy, and who knows, another Stanley Cup winning season. Yeah, no, he's proven to himself and all that. I can't believe there's still doubters about Jack Eichel. You know, he's undoubtedly, you know, a top 10 center in the league. And there's some people who say out there that, you know, he's not, or maybe he's not that good of a center. Maybe he's more for the wing, which is insane to me. I've seen those takes though. I'm not just making that up. I've seen those takes. So yeah, no, Jack Eichel is cementing himself as potentially the guy who deserves to have the Hart Trophy at the end of the season. The Knights are, I can't see how they don't finish at the top of the Pacific, the Pacific Division at the end of the season. So yeah, Jack Eichel is going to have himself a crazy year. The Knights are going to, you know, easily coast to playoffs, and then in the playoffs they've now got an extra weapon in Marner. Let's see if he can bring himself up to the next game, to the next level of his game in the playoffs, and let's see if Eichel can secure himself another Stanley Cup. Moving on to the next thing I want to talk about for some awesome things that happened in the month of October in the NHL. It's the New Jersey Devils. I just want to talk about the team as a whole. I think the Devils have looked just so much fun. They've had a great win streak that did come to an end, obviously, but they look like just like one of the best teams in the league this season. It wouldn't surprise me if they're not only the best team in the East when it's all said and done this season, but they're also the best team in the league. Maybe they win the President's Trophy. I could absolutely see that happening. As long as they continue to have a healthy season. Please, I hope I'm not jinxing this, but Jack Hughes has looked like easily a top 10 player in this league to start the season. Jesper Bratt is just consistently one of the best players, and he's still underrated, which is kind of crazy. I think he's better than most people have him ranked if they were thinking about Jesper Bratt and where he ranks among wingers. Nico Hischier looks like, you know, they have two top line centers. They have two top line centers in Hughes and Hischier. So it's just such a great thing to have. You know, I know that the bit of the narrative has been about Dougie Hamilton and the contract of Luke Hughes, and maybe that means that they'll move off of Dougie Hamilton. But as long as they're doing this good, why not have an embarrassment of riches at defense and the people who can quarterback your power play? Keep Hamilton around for at least this season and go from there. But yeah, the Devils, and especially Jake Allen as well, having himself a great start of the season. It's looking really nice, and they're just so much fun to watch. I think that's a huge, maybe a little bit of an underrated aspect of what makes a team so great, and why you want to puff up how great they're doing is are they fun to watch? And the Devils certainly are. And the last thing I want to talk about for my 5 favorite things that happened in the month of October in the NHL, it's Jacob Dobesh of the Montreal Canadiens. Their goaltender, who looks to be usurping the number 1 spot in goaltending ahead of Sam Montembeault, who's floundered a bit to the start of this season for sure. You know, Jacob Dobesh proves that he might be not just the number 1 goalie right now in Sheldon Keefe's mind, but he might be the number 1 goalie for many years to come in Montreal. So it's really cool. He's had unbelievable stats. He might have the best goals against average and save percentage right now in terms of goalies who start at least 5 or 6 games. So yeah, just incredible stuff from Dobesh, and I really hope he keeps it up. and I've got him on my fantasy team, so that's another reason why I hope he keeps it up. But thank you so much for watching. I just want to cover, again, this will be a series every month. So at the end of November, I'll go over my favorite 5 favorite things that happened in the month of November. So look out for another installment of this series come the end of November. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing. That would mean so much to me and the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video.